and welcome to the SEO Podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing. My name is Chris Burris, owner of eWebStyle.
I'm Charles Lewis, your Internet Marketing Specialist.
Welcome back to another fun-filled edition of our show. This is podcast number 259.
As in 259 podcasts.
We are broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and as always, we have a tip from our previous podcast, and that tip is when creating web content, address the pain and highlight the FAB features, advantages, and benefits in first person.
In first person. So remember last podcast we were talking about content.
There. You're like, let me add it.
But last podcast we were talking about content, right? And how to make this content, present this content in a way to make people engage with you. And so one of the things you do, especially if you're providing a service or a product that maybe addresses a specific problem, address the pain, right? The pain that end user is feeling and what that product or service solves, right? And that's what Chris means by the FAB, the feature, the advantage, the benefit. That's how you sell. What are the features of this product or service? What are the advantages to using it? And as an end user, how does it benefit me? Highlight those things along with that emotional pain and that content. And I think you close it off in first person, right? First person tends to just make people feel like you're talking directly to them.
Yep.
So use I's, yous, we's, us's instead of thems and those and they, right? And so when you use your content in that fashion, people who read it will intend to engage with you and likely convert into potentially a client.
Customers.
Definitely.
Please remember, we are your friendly local neighborhood
top position snatchers.
Yes. Where our mantra is,
don't be a douche.
Do not be a douche. This day we've got meat of our podcast. We got a little bit of podcast potatoes to do for our podcast.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna get into the meat. Give me a little teaser about our meat.
So we don't give a punch in the face to Julie Joyce. She posted an article, Search Engine Land, the real reason no one wants to link to you. Man, awesome. She did a great job on the post, and so we'll get into that later because what she talked about was some really site enhancements.
Right.
About what you can do to make people link to you. So we'll add to that and stay tuned. You're going to love it.
Excellent. If you're in a position to, and you probably are, go ahead and tweet now. And what you should tweet is
what you see behind us. If you're watching, hashtag SEO Podcast number 259. Be sure to tag us in it at eWebStyle, at Best SEO Podcast. That way we can follow you back and do all of our social networking stuff.
All right, so we ask you, if this is the first time you've listened to our podcast, welcome. We're got a little bit of potatoes to get through. We'll get to the meat. If you've listened to this podcast more than once, please do us one of 4 favors. Yeah. And the first favor has 3 steps. Go on to iTunes, create an account, write a review. Hopefully that review will be 5 stars. And if you choose to, send us an email,
podcast@e-webstyle.com.
So we can make sure to find it, because sometimes they can be a little challenging to find in iTunes. The next one, there's actually 3 things we want you to do after you get to our G Plus local page.
Okay.
I'm struggling.
I was like, I was lost. I didn't know where you was going. I was thinking of a 4th thing.
There's got to be one more. So we've made it incredibly easy to get to our G Plus local page.
Really
all you got to do is go to e-webstyle.com
/Google Plus
or
/Google Plus
or
/G Plus
or
/G Plus.
All of those will take you to our G Plus local page. Yeah. If you're into SEO, you know that reviews on your G Plus local page are incredibly valuable.
Yeah, extremely important, incredibly valuable, inherently
useful.
Thank you. So when you get there, do these things for us. First off, leave us that review. Hopefully it's 5 stars. After you do that, put us in a circle. And then give us a +1. We so appreciate it.
There we go, yeah. And make sure you +1 us because we still have more reviews than we have +1s. It's interesting how that works. Next, you could find us on our Facebook page and write a review there. Just go to facebook.com
/eWebstyle.
And there you can find the link, and it's easy to find.
Just leave a review there. Matter of fact, while you're there, you know what you can also do? Post a question on a wall, something like that. Put it in a discussion. We'll get it. And we'll address it live.
You can also share our Facebook page with some friends, and then they can find us and start tuning in. And then finally, you can go to Stitcher. If you just go to our website, e-webstyle.com, you will find a Stitcher logo. If you go there, there's an easy way to write a review. I think there's also an easy way.
Like one button. You click the Stitcher logo. Once you get there, it says write a review right at the top. Click that, and leave us a 5-star review.
5 stars. And then if you're on Stitcher, I think there's an easy way to share it with friends. So go ahead and do that. Now, you can haunt us, stalk us, harass us, and you can do all of those things by going to Facebook.com/eWebStyle. YouTube.com/
eWebStyle.
Twitter.com/eWebStyle. Instagram.com/eWebStyle. If you are a PHP expert, we're almost done with the potatoes here. If you're a PHP expert or a WordPress expert, we might be interested in talking to you. We're always looking for highly qualified people in those two areas. Just submit an audio resume, 713-510-7846. If you want to
say that number again,
713-510-7846.
I want to shout out to Evolutions. Had a good chance to meet with her yesterday. She fits that criteria. If you're tuning in right now, call the number.
Oh yeah, give us a call. You can get a free website analysis. All you need to do is go to our website, and you will find a free website analysis form. Fill that out. If you're in a big hurry, give us a call.
And we'll address it for you.
We will address it. So now it is time for arguably our favorite and only segment, the algorithm cataclysm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I almost fell over, and it was probably worth falling over for today's algo cat.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, so interesting. Google's making changes in regards to search results page. So this algo cataclysm isn't something that you should that's going to affect your site per se, but the reason we included it in algo cat this week is because it does affect the search engine results page.
Yep.
Right. So remember the carousel?
Yes.
All right. So if you did any searches for like events or restaurants or hotels or any local type search like that, Google would give you the carousel, which is kind of like a film strip
across the top.
Search results. And you could scroll, which I thought was pretty effective.
Very nice.
Well, scratch the carousel.
Apparently not good for pay-per-click.
Exactly. And so what they ended up doing was now, instead of getting this whole carousel, you'll get 3, and they show up below the paid ads.
Of course.
So you get paid ads, then you get these 3 listings, which kind of sucks because the carousel gave you a good view of 10 at once before you had to scroll. Right now you only see 3, and so fighting for those top 3 local positions is going to be extremely important. And those 3 listings show up right above the local listings.
Right.
So imagine a new search result page: paid listings,
film
strip, for lack of a better word,
maybe organic,
then local listings,
and then local listings,
then your natural listings.
Yeah. Sometimes you get an organic or 2 above local listings.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I thought that was pretty cool. They replaced it with a 3-pack. That's what they called it. It's only 3.
So we got the 7-pack and the 3-pack.
Definitely. And so the last algo cat. So dig this for everybody who doesn't have
because if you're on Google all the time, you probably don't have a 6-pack.
I know. Right, you got a 3-pack. I got a 40 ounce. Google. So they debuted the mobile friendly labels. This is key. Anybody out there who's building sites right now, who has a site and your site isn't mobile friendly, go address that immediately.
Yeah.
Because now what's happening is Google is labeling them. If you on a mobile search, on a mobile device, and you do a search, your listings will show up, and next to the listing, it will say, "Hey, mobile friendly site,"
and
not mobile friendly.
Yeah.
And look, if I'm on a mobile device, I will not click on something that's not mobile friendly. It just don't seem intuitive to do so.
Yep.
So that's today's algo.
It certainly will make me think about it again.
Yeah, I will click everything else first, and then if I can't, I'll either click that or probably change my search query.
Absolutely. All right, so let's do a little bit of news. I just got 3 little pieces that I thought were cool. Google is testing subscription service for ad-free websites. So a couple of websites, basically if you go to those websites and you're paying somewhere between $1 and $3 a month to not see ads, what you'll see is thank you for supporting us. So really, instead of seeing ads and the website making money from the ads, you're actually just contributing to them. So Google keeps track of how many times you visited that site, and some portion of your $1 to $3 goes to them. It's only 4 sites right now.
Okay.
It's only 4 sites right now, so they're just testing it out.
It's kind of interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I almost pay to not see ads.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have a theory that I bet it's going to come back. Well, it depends, right? But
depending on how much people are paying.
Yeah, just like carousel is going away because it wasn't ultimately profitable. So yeah, if people are skipping ads, I mean, it will be very interesting to run some stats of how much does an individual save by not seeing ads.
Yeah.
Right. It's probably, you and I both know, it's probably worth me paying $3 a month. I will be saving money because those ads that I am interested in seeing, I will not see.
Exactly. Especially with people who do great jobs at remarketing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Next, Samsung has a foldable phone coming out. They said it's supposed to be by the end of the year.
foldable.
So the phone actually, the screen actually folds. The screen. Yeah.
I mean, I could see that coming. You saw the Galaxy Edge.
Yeah, that was cool.
I mean, yeah, I could. Why not?
Yeah.
So a full screen flip phone.
Kind of interesting, right? So they said by the end of the year, it's probably, obviously we're getting pretty late. It's not going to happen. They'll probably be announced at CES.
Yeah.
And then finally, Google sends internet balloons up, and the balloons stay up for 100 days, and they provide internet. I didn't get how big an area, but they just sent up it's powered by solar panels.
Oh, literally balloon
it's
that's
like a weather
Wi-Fi
balloon
signal.
that's given it's actually a LTE signal.
Hey, people chasing, following the signal.
Yeah, how I traveled around the world following a Google balloon.
Yeah, wow.
It's probably taking pictures and all sorts of other, Google-ish type stuff. Yeah,
so
let's get to
some more news,
right?
Man, tech news. So dig this, Snapchat.
Right.
Snapchat partnered with Square.
Okay.
They came out with a new product, SnapCash.
SnapCash.
Allowing people to
Send
sync up
cash.
your Snapchat with your bank account through Square, and you can snap money to people.
Wow.
Easy mobile money transferring. I'm telling you, mobile commerce is growing by leaps and bounds.
Oh yeah.
And so, dude, that's what's up.
I was thinking going through a toll booth the other day. That's got an RFID chip on it. I mean, you could just use your phone.
Exactly.
Although you have to have your phone there all the time, so it's probably not going to happen, but it is possible.
Then dig this. So Firefox stopped using Google as a default search after 10 years.
So they switched to
Yahoo.
That's Bing.
They partnered with Yahoo.
Wow.
And so yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
So why do you partner with Yahoo and not directly with Bing? Anyway, whatever.
Politics. Last one. This probably could have won AlgoCat. So remember a few months ago we covered Google AdWords changing. So
Right.
if you were using phrase match or exact match,
Yep.
then they still included close variants. And so we talked about getting ready to do that. It's official now.
They did it.
They wrote that out.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that kind of sucks.
Once again, Bing copying Google. Just
Like, want to get a punch in the face too?
we literally just don't want to see that. We want to see a search
Improvement.
engine
I wanna
that
see
is doing
innovation.
better than Google.
That's why I'm kind of curious to see what Apple's going to do. Like
Yeah.
they're doing search. They got Apple by indexing pages.
They're
And
certainly
so,
known to be innovative.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Gonna
cool.
be interesting.
All right, punch in the face.
Got a couple punches in the face, man. This petiff goes to Fast Forward. He's at Fast Forward U. Just started listening to the at eWeb Style podcast. I've been enjoying it very much while picking up all my goddamn leaves. Thanks, guys. Look, I hate yard work. I
Yeah.
dig it. I
Oh,
understand it. This one here, dig this. Real Marsha Wright. She's at Marsha Wright. She added her to this, dig the name of this list she has on Twitter. The cool podcasters to follow ASAP.
Boom.
Yeah, that's all us.
Boom.
But this is notable because she's like worldwide business expert. She's been on BBC and Business Insider, HuffPost, and places like that. And so, man, punch in the face to
Yeah.
you, Marsha, for tuning into the little guys. Thank you so much. And this last one goes to Moose, man, good friend of mine,
Moose.
good networking guy. He's with a company called Let's Talk Digital. And so, dig this, right? We all know the power of reviews.
Right.
Right. So what Moose does is take your reviews.
And
right?
we know the power of video.
Exactly, video and reviews, they go together.
Right.
Right. So he takes your reviews, creates a video for them, unique to your business, and this video inherently outranks any negative reviews you may have,
Yeah.
and it inherently increases your reputation
Yeah.
for positivity. And so, punch in the face to Moose, man. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for your support. And yes, we've been working with him, and we will continue to do so.
Cool.
That's all I got.
You notice there is no tear
I
tattoo
noticed
under
that. I was
the
happy
right eye.
when I saw you.
Yeah, I was scrambling
being
trying to
tatted
find
up.
one, and we finally found one. This is from Miad Abrim, and this is on our G Plus page, and it says, "Thanks for the time you guys are spending over this. Your podcast is enormously useful and full of meat." But I really think you two can easily broadcast.
Literally.
Yeah,
This and
meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't even artistic
Yeah.
license. That was just artistic interpretation. But I really think you two can easily broadcast your own content as well. Keep doing it. It is awesome. Thank you. Punch in the face to Miad.
Appreciate it.
Really appreciate that. And I think G Plus, that was a 5-star review. So thank you, Miad, very much. that is the potatoes of our podcast. Time to get into the meat,
Definitely.
which is apparently why people won't link to you. It's kind of, it's kind of the the sad truth, right? It's like, how come I can't get a date? Well, you really want me to answer that?
Yeah, I know. Well, we're gonna get right into it. And let me say this preface this before we even get into it. She's talking about the real reasons why no one wants to link to you. And when I look at this from a kind of back-end perspective, these are also reasons and action items that you need to go and do on your site immediately. Not even if you're pursuing links or anything like that, just because site improvement is always necessary. And so with that, let's get right into it. The real reason. So number one, she says website bloat. She goes on to say that you might have poorly chosen link targets because you want certain pages to rank well. But there's not much to gain by trying to rank 10 pages that say the same thing with slight variations. And she's absolutely right. I think a lot of us, especially people who do SEO, tend to fall into this website bloat situation where you're trying to rank for terms, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. And so you're creating pages of content that are similar because they're targeting similar terms. And you end up with all of these pages and blog posts and articles that all are optimized for similar terms, but they don't really work well with each other. And your website's bloated. And so this person who may find that content, who may think it's valuable, just not sure where to link to. And so my answer to website bloat is site organization. One of the things we do when working on sites is make sure that your content is organized. So if you have several pages that are related, and they consolidate them if you can, condense them, get rid of the thin ones. You don't want to face any panda problems anyway. And that way your content is more efficient. People know exactly where to find what they're looking for, and more importantly, they know where to link to. Excuse me, that's why I don't drink sodas.
Yeah, gotta stop sodas before the show.
Number two, load time. And she goes on to say, if you're a huge retailer like Amazon, people will wait. And she's right.
Yeah.
But if you're not,
I'll wait quite a while for Amazon.
Because I'm going to order regardless.
Yep.
Right? I'm confident.
I'm there to order or just to review reviews.
Then order.
Yeah, and then order.
And so if you're not Amazon, if you're not some big brand, Coke, Walmart, something like that, where people don't mind waiting, you better have your site load up extremely fast. And not to mention, Google hates slow sites. And so not even for the sake of building links, but just for the sake of having your ranking increase organically, you need to increase your page speed. Don't have a slow site. That just kind of sucks. Number three, she says broken media. And broken media sucks. It's kind of like a bad first impression.
Yep.
Right?
Well, so speed kind of first bad impression, and then broken media second bad impression. That's like strike one, strike two, Family Feud, the other family's about to get a chance.
Exactly. The other family happens to be your competitor. But yeah, broken videos or images that won't load or links that go to 404 pages and things like that. It's not a good experience. Not a good experience. I'm definitely not going to link to that. So yeah, don't create that bad first impression.
We talk about kind of the first phase of a website to be a confidence and credibility piece, or reliability and credibility piece. Mm-hmm. And what you need on websites is confidence and credibility pieces. So like a BBB, a Better Business Bureau logo, or we've been in business since 1941, mm-hmm. or whatever it may be.
Or whatever awards or nominations you have from the local chamber of commerce or whatever regulating industry in your industry, you need those things on the site.
And you can have all of those, and if your site loads slow and then you've got missing images because your media is missing, mm-hmm. broken, no credibility.
No credibility. Broken media. Don't have that. Number 4, she says no sharing capabilities. She goes on to say, if I'm linking to something that I wanted to show signs of life, why would I want to promote a post that the author doesn't even feel like promoting? I totally agree with that. Why am I going to put energy into something you're not even putting energy into? And so I totally agree with that. I won't link to anything that's dry, that maybe has some information, because I did read it, right? And maybe I wanted to link to it. But you got people asking questions and you're not doing anything, or I can't share it, right? It hasn't been updated, maybe, then I'm not going to link to it, and nobody else is going to link to it. So include sharing things. I said this: make sure your post is fully optimized, right? So meaningfully, you have images, you have bullet points, you have great content, you have supporting rich media. Not only that, you have social sharing options. And so that way people can tweet it, they can dig it, they can Facebook it, they can Reddit or whatever they want to do to it. Those things, those little icons make people want to link to it, they make people want to share it. Especially if the plugin you're using includes the numbers. So it's showing you how many times this has been shared. I'll be glad to add another one.
Yep, absolutely.
Right, but if nobody's doing it, then I'm not going to do it.
Skip it. Yep.
Exactly. Number 5, she says no fresh content. And she's talking about a blog here. She says, if you can't update it, then why do you have it? I can answer that. Because you know you need it.
Somebody told you to.
Yeah, somebody told you to. Or it came with your site. Or you just started using WordPress and all you know it for is blogs and not really being a huge content management system. And so you have one. I'll say this. No one links to old stuff. Sometimes.
Yeah.
And the reason I say sometimes is because I haven't put out a new SEO rapper video in probably a year and a half. Right. And I'm getting an influx of tweets and links to that site. Yeah, recently, like in the past 30 days.
Awesome.
And so I'll probably drop something next year.
So I think it's not old content. We'll call it new and fresh.
Even though it's a year, over 365 days since it's been posted. But so in regards to people linking to your site, though, you know, it's your rapper's kind of entertainment deal. That's different. But if you're in the service provider or you have a set of products and you're posting content on, you know, make sure this content is fresh. Make sure it's updated. Make sure it's relevant. Make sure that people can gain value when they read it or when they absorb it. Because if they can't, they're not going to link to it. Number 6, atrocious writing. And I've seen some atrocious writing. Look,
usually it's related to somebody trying to over SEO a content, right?
It's either trying to over SEO content, or it's a owner who's head deep in his industry.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you end up with this technical field article full of acronyms and jargon that has really no value unless it's to people who understand
to
that
his
lingo.
Employees.
Exactly. Right. So atrocious writing, man. Spend some time, hire somebody if you have to, get a proofreader, whatever you got to do to make sure that your writing is consistent, that it's easy to read, that it flows, that the person writing it knows how to carry on the next thought, how to keep people engaged. That's important. Writing is extremely important. Go find you an English lit major, some journalist or some college grad, somebody who can write.
Yep.
and then you pour out all of your technical stuff to them and let them reorganize it and then present you with some content.
Readable.
Exactly. Number 7, untended comment section. I love that one. I love that one because I read comments.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why I read comments. Because I like watching people who never met each other argue
over
something that they don't fully understand
yeah.
in the comments. But what I hate about comments is when I see people asking questions and a whole bunch of spam comments and links to Viagra and stuff and the articles about, you know, SEO. Right? Why do you have an untended comment section? That means you haven't paid attention to this blog. That means you don't really care. Matter of fact, she said, if you can't take the time to moderate your comments, you're sending a message that you truly don't care what your site looks like. Look, I'll say this. Responding to comments is the easiest way to get more comments.
Yeah.
When people, just like reviews, when people write a review, you respond to that review, then people who see those reviews and see your response, they're likely to respond and
engage with you. Yeah.
Exactly. Same thing with comments. If people asking questions in your comments about your article, or maybe they're highlighting things that you missed or whatever, respond to that. Whether negative or positive, respond positively to their reply. And that way you can engage people and more importantly, when new users come, they'll see that you're engaged, they'll see you're paying attention, and they'll likely comment just so you can comment back to them. And we know that user-generated content is still extremely important.
If you've got a negative review of some sort, just make sure that after you write your response, you sleep on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't post it right there.
Emotional. You don't want to. You got to pull all the emotion out of it.
We had some clients who did that. I had to call her like, "Hey, what you doing?
Yeah, stop. Run it by me. Sleep on it.
Don't worry about it. Let me handle it."
Yeah.
So yeah, do that. Number 8. too many ads. She says it's awesome that you're making money, of course, but it's distracting for people who actually want the information. I think that's kind of just personal preference.
Well, and Google will penalize you if you've got too many ads above
the fold.
So
yeah, it's definitely a top
keep
heavy
track
site.
of that.
But in the end, I think it's kind of personal preference. We were talking about it earlier. You know, if I like the content and is valuable to me, then
I'll stomach the ads.
Yeah, all the ads don't bother me. You know, and so I think she has a point here. Too many ads, I think, in conjunction with what you're saying. Too many ads above the fold and too prominent. Yeah, it probably could be a problem.
Yeah.
Banner ads, sidebar ads, you know, banner ad in the middle of the content, footer ad, left side ad, you know, AdSense thing over here. Yeah,
text ad injected into the middle of content.
Yeah, that's the overkill. But you know, if your content's good, then most people will probably overlook those ads. I like number 9, unoriginal content. Meaning not original. She says, if all you do is rehash other people's content, scrape their sites, publish roundups, and basically repeat everything that you can find elsewhere, then you may rank highly, because that's how things work, but you aren't going to get great links. And I totally agree with that, which is why, using us as an example, this is somebody else's content, right? And that's why we take the time to investigate it, to read it, to give you my own personal opinion. Not only that, but after today, like this live broadcast, it'll go to YouTube. We'll link out to her article. When we eventually put the transcript of this podcast on our blog post, guess what we'll do? We'll link to her article. We'll mention her. We'll give her proper credit for what she's done. And then we'll just highlight what we've added, right? Making it original. You know what I'm saying? So that way we're not stepping on her toes or anything like that. She's getting the proper credit. And we're giving you something valuable that apparently 8,000 times a week people go and download. Right? And so that's what we'll do. 9,000 times in 80-something different countries.
Yep, 83 different countries.
But speaking of content, I will say make sure your content is relevant, right? Make sure it's factual. Make sure that it's relatable to your target audience. And so that way they will have a higher likelihood of actually engaging with your content. Number 10, she says, there's better content elsewhere. And I agree with that. She says, let's say you need to repair your washer and dryer and you're not mechanically inclined. Wouldn't it be more likely to find a site that had a video of somebody doing it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If all you got is a write-up.
Yeah, all you got is text.
They're not going to link to you.
I'm not going to link to you. I think I said that earlier on her other point. You need about having a fully optimized post, right? You need that text. You need that video. You need bullet points. You need images. You need rich media resources. You need outbound links to other places where they can get more information about said product or service. And people will link to that. So invest time is what I added. Invest time, invest resources into developing worthwhile content. Don't just, like this article here, going back to this example, I narrowed it down to this one. I've been reading articles all week,
right?
You know, and I started 2 other blog posts I just didn't complete to prepare for today.
Right.
And that was the reason behind that, is to make sure we presented something that was valuable, that was worthwhile, that was relevant. And so I want to encourage you to do the same thing. Hire somebody if you have to curate that content for you, because you don't want to put it out and it's not original. It's somebody can go somewhere else and get it. Can't go anywhere else and get what we're doing right now. And number 11, the last one, kind of funny. She says, 2001 called and they want their site back.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, if you just got an old site, man, redesign, dude.
Yeah.
Like if you're still using old stuff like Flash elements and you know, blinking stuff or marquees and all this kind of stuff that's probably won't even render well on a mobile device or these newer browsers, yeah, I'm not going to link to you. I'll say this, newer is better, especially, well, most of the time, you know, unless you're talking about an old classic car or something. So make sure your site's redesigned, make sure it's new, make sure it's fresh, make sure it's consistent with the times, right? You're dealing with people we live in the microwave industry where I need it fast, I need it right now, the way I want it. And if your website doesn't communicate that, doesn't give people that experience that they're used to having, that they want to have, then they're not gonna link to you. She closes it out with, who's to blame? So before you blame your link builder or start screaming about Google wrecking your link campaign, take a look at your site. And I totally agree.
Point,
yeah, check your fall back. What'd you say? Do a drop test, right?
Yeah.
Look at your site. Step back from the screen and look at it and determine what would make me want to go here and scroll and click and become engaged. So I put, check your site. Determine the actions that you want people to take, whether it's call, whether it's subscribe, whether it's download, whether it's link, right, to this page, since that's what we're talking about. Figure out those actions and then redesign. Redesign your site so that you can accomplish those objectives that you set forth. And in that way, your content becomes more user-friendly. You get a higher engagement rate. If you're in analytics, this equals more time on site. This equals the bounce rates. This equals, longer click paths, and which in turn turns into more conversions. So don't blame Google. Don't blame your link builder. Don't blame your SEO guy, unless you're using a company like ours, right, where we actually do your site and your SEO and link building. And so that sort of issue won't happen because we will automatically revisit the site if we're not getting the desired results. So, man, give a good punch in the face to Julie Joyce. Punch in the face to her, man. Great article. The real reason why no one wants to link to you. Check it out.
Good stuff. All right, so we got any what?
Yeah, I do have some what news. What? Yeah, so this is actually kind of cool what news, though. You know Tony Hawk?
Yeah.
Tony Hawk, famous skateboarder, surfboarder, snowboarder. He rides boards, right? So dig this. There's a company, there's a board called the Hendo.
Right.
Hendo is the first, board?
Hoverboard.
First hoverboard. It's the first hoverboard, like a real one. He did a fake one some months ago, and they kind of got a lot of backlash for it. Now, this is the real deal.
Wow.
Now, it's still in development. It only works over aluminum right now for some reason.
Yeah.
But he was hovering, and he was doing tricks, and I thought it was kind of awesome. And so that's tech news, and I thought that was pretty cool just to show the advancements in technology. Like, real hoverboard.
Yeah, that's awesome.
In my mind, I picture, you seen Spider-Man? Remember the green man dude on a hoverboard?
Yeah. I want that.
Yeah. Exactly. I just want to go to the store
I get to work faster.
on a hoverboard. Exactly. Hover over the traffic. Imagine that.
Oh, sorry.
That'd be kind of cool. So, that's what's up.
All right. Well, you have just listened to the most popular internet marketing podcast on iTunes. Just a note. If you're a customer, you're interested in growing your business with the largest, simplest marketing tool on the planet,
the internet,
call eWebstyle for increased revenue in your business. Phone number is 713-592-6724. If you have a referral that is somebody who needs SEO service, you send them to us, they pay their bill, we'll pay you.
Pretty simple.
We were filming and have been filming and will continue to film at 5999 West 34th Street, Suite 106 in Houston, Texas. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have made us the most popular internet marketing podcast in iTunes. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Remember, we will not be broadcasting next. It's
week.
Thanksgiving weekend.
Happy Thanksgiving to y'all.
For those in the States, happy Thanksgiving. For those not in the States, happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for understanding our odd vacations.
Yeah.
All right, until the next podcast, my name is Chris Burris.
Charles Lewis.
Bye-bye for now.